There's multiple ways to export a file within CAD. In this lesson, we're going to go over how to export a clean DXF file. So let's get into it. In the last lesson, we overviewed the difference between 2D and 3D file types, so DXFs and step files. In this one, we're going to start talking about how to export those DXFs correctly. Now, there is a way to do it straight from the sketch that you're drawing. You don't have to create a model or anything, but this can be very messy if you don't select the correct options on the export. So we're going to talk about how to do that correctly. And there is a better way to create it where you create a new sketch, which I call a clean sketch, and you do a projection to get that DXF. Lastly, there is tools in Fusion that allow you to get that DXF straight from, say, a solid body. And this is going to be using the flat pattern feature. This is going to be great when you have bent parts in the background. They get those bend lines to come through when you're exporting it and bringing it into SendCutSend. So let's jump onto the computer here and start going over CAD. Now, the first thing that we're going to see is that I have already gone ahead and drew a sketch. And that sketch consists of an outer circle with two inner ones, where you can see the projection here essentially is just a washer with two holes in it. Now, one thing that I did is I used a lot of different construction lines. And I did that on purpose to show how those kind of features can come through in the DXFs and kind of mess things up. So let's go ahead and finish this sketch. And we're going to go all the way over here to the left into our tree, and we're going to see our sketches here. We can right click on this sketch, and we're going to see in that menu, Export DXF. Now, this is one of the main ways in which you can pull that DXF file out. Once I click on that button, we're going to see a new dialog box pop up, and this is going to have one main thing that you're going to care about, which is your units. Select whatever units that you want, but know that when you import them into a place like SendCutSend, that you need to verify that the part size is correct and is not scaled incorrectly to a different unit. Now, under this, we also have visible geometry. We have points, projected geometry, and construction lines. I'm going to ignore these features really quick just to show you guys what essentially ends up happening when those construction lines come into SendCutSend. Let's go ahead and click OK, and all that's left is to save it. All right, now that we have this saved, let's go ahead and import it into SendCutSend. And when this actually does come in, what we end up seeing is that we have a very broken geometry. And that's because that construction line, those lines on the inside, are coming through into SendCutSend, and they're not necessarily sure how to handle those lines. They're not sure if they should be cut or not, and that breaks that outside geometry. Now, what we can end up doing is going back into Fusion, and once we're in here, we can go ahead and click on our sketch again, and right click on there. We're going to click Export DXF. And what we can do is deselect these options here. Now, the main one that's affecting us is our construction geometry, but to clean up any additional points or projected geometry, I kind of recommend also removing those as well. Now that we have that, we can click OK. We'll go ahead and call this raw DXF2. And we can click Save. Now we go back into SendCutSend. When we import this, what we're going to see is a nice clean washer coming through, ready to be cut. Now, coming back into Fusion one more time, there is another way to do this, and this is often used by me because it is one of the most tried and true methods that I have found. We can come up here and we're going to click on Flange, and we're going to create a sheet metal body based off of this profile that we're looking for on the washer. We can select whether or not we want a new body or component and select the sheet metal thickness by clicking OK. Now, I want to hide this original sketch that we had, and you can see that I just have a 3D model in here. I'm going to create a new sketch on the surface in which I want cut. So just this flat profile here, clicking on that. You have to remember that when you create a sketch on a surface like this, it automatically does a projection of that surface onto the sketch. So we actually don't need to do any further work. I can go ahead and click on Finish Sketch here. And when I come over here to the right, we can see that new sketch shows up. All I need to do is right click on that, click on Export DXF. And on this one, since it's a clean projection of what we're looking for, we can go ahead and just leave all of the options in here, as well as just check our units. We can click OK and save that DXF to see that. Now, another feature that we have in here is a feature that's in the sheet metal only. So you have to be in the sheet metal area, but we have one that's called flat patterns. And for that, I'm going to move actually into a different tab here. And on this one right here, we have a sheet metal body that has 2 different bends on it. Now, if we were to create a sketch, say on this surface, I'm only going to get this surface here. I'm not going to actually get the left or the right hand flanges that I have also on this design. So to get those correctly, what we're going to want to do is create this flat pattern, and it's going to ask you to click on a stationary face. Now, this is essentially the face in which all of your bends are going to be unfolded around. So you can click on any of these, but it's just more of a preference thing. I'm going to click on this base flange here and click OK. Once we're in here, we can see that it flattened out our part completely, but we have these new center lines where our bend locations are. Now, this does it automatically, taking into consideration the stretch that's going to happen in the bend. We can go ahead and click on DXF up here. Now, this is a great way to export your DXFs with your bends. It automatically adds your center lines, and you can go ahead and just click OK. Once we do that, we'll save it as anything. We'll save this one as flat pattern 1, clicking on save, and we're going to go ahead and take that, and let's import this into SendCutSend and see how it shows up. Once we're in there, we're going to see that long rectangular part come in, and we're going to see 2 different center lines show up for us. These center lines can be configured on SendCutSend's workflow to add those bends once you're adding the right metal. Okay, now that we've talked about a lot of different options for the DXFs and the ways that you can save them, let's talk about things that we want to avoid. Now, a lot of people want to nest multiple parts together to try to save money and time. However, a lot of different softwares and places like SendCutSend use really advanced nesting techniques in which they're putting thousands of customers on the same sheet, and this often costs you more money than actually just giving individual files, since they're fitting you amongst all the other people. So try to avoid that. That'll save you a couple bucks. Additionally, is that if you have a non-sheet metal body that you're going to be pulling in that has bends, say it's a step file, you're going to want to consider the bend allowance in those situations. So we talked about this, taking consideration that stretch. These ones will not, and your parts are going to come out the wrong length, even though your DXF was cut out of that pattern there. So we're going to talk a little bit more about this in future chapters once we get into sheet metal, so just be aware of that situation. Now that we fully understand the different ways we can get DXFs, in the next lesson, we're going to go over how to get those step files out. So we'll see you on the next one.